this particular channel, which has been for about 9 years or so, and I've had various programming here. And then when something's got bigger, I would move them off from here. So, for example, I did Giants Baseball Corner, which was about the San Francisco Baseball Giants, a vlog and blog where I was writing about them. And during the time that I was doing that, they won the World Series 3 times. And as that started to get a following of its own, I created its own Twitter account and I created its own YouTube account. And I compartmentalized that over there. And then over the years, there have been different projects that came up either as short-term things like the Kingfish turkey shoot, a 5-decade tradition in North Oakland. I created a separate YouTube for that so it could just host those videos of that sort of feature about that event, if you will. I've probably made something like half a dozen YouTube channels for different purposes, either for myself or for other people over the years. Some of these get really big, like the RPRZ, the Rocky Point Recharge Zone, which is at rprz.org. The Rocky Point Recharge Zone is an area, an environmental area that I've been exploring, photographing, and taking video of for many years. Very near to here, as a matter of fact. So once that got kind of large, it got its own website or blog. But I never took the animals off of this place, my place, because I like having them here. So different decision making is what ends up with what is on this site, and it's not by any means the most well-produced stuff. It's just stuff over the years. It's a place where I've been putting things. The original name that I gave this back in 2009 or whenever it began, 11, was MTK's Live Captures. And that's because in those days I was taking a camera. Phones weren't like they are now. And I was taking a camera and going into the field and filming stuff and creating videos and uploading them. So this is actually my second YouTube account. The very first YouTube account I opened in India in 2007, and that's just MT Karthik. And I lost the password, so I've never been able to get back into it. But it's got some beautiful footage of South India and the place where I was born, and some little movies I made in the early days of YouTube being a Google product. And MT Karthik on YouTube is the only other channel now that I have that's still live. So you have this channel, MTK's Live Captures, or just if you put in MT Karthik after the username. And then you have MT Karthik, which is the one in India predominantly. There's also some footage there from Oaxaca, and some footage there from Japan, and some footage there from other places that I was traveling at the time. But it just kind of sealed off because I can't. I could probably contact YouTube and we could work it out, but I don't have the email. I don't know what, that's an old email from a long time ago, you know. So all of this to say that digital generation that we're living in has modes of storage that predated the cloud, which is what you all are using now, that I've been using to keep myself out of social media, right? Like WordPress as a means of just storing so much stuff that I want to save or collect or keep handy as an off-port memory for me of things I've done in the past. That's the mtkarthik.org site. You can just go there and, you know, you can see all pictures I've taken and video I've shot and art I've made and things I've written by category or whatever. But that's pre-cloud storage in the cloud is what that is. And for years, I did all of this for free. For me, I was using only free software, but I would try each of the iterations, you know, before YouTube became the standard. For example, you had a variety of iterations, Ustream and iVlog and JTV and, you know, a lot of different types of things. I joined them all. I tried them all. I produced little shows on each of them. Lloyd Dangle, the cartoonist, and I once did a little show together. That was pretty fun. I produced localized specific content for, say, elections coverage, using a variety of those or protests back then even. So it was cool. It was fun these last 2 decades to toy with a variety of tools for this, and I'll probably continue to do that. But if YouTube is becoming something of a universal standard, an international standard, if you will, and I, of course, refuse to grow my channel. I'm not attempting to market or become a YouTube identity. My whole thing has been to maintain a kind of realness that is absent, but now has sudden value, this authenticity, right? The only way to do that is to have a long body of being the same, and I've been the same for a long time. So it's interesting now to start a new stream, and I think that's what this is going to be. I'm not going to follow protocols like I've had in the last 2 years. If you want to watch me doing a show, you should see what I did when I made a set up a studio, you know. For that, you can watch all of the content from last year that's under a middle perch live on the internet. Or you can watch the Anticlimactic Non-Show, which was a December 2018, 1 month long produced little program. There was more news there and talk radio there and critical discourse. Oris Tanner came in, and Nico Garza also visited studio, and both were part of production there for a little bit. So you can watch content of things I've produced all on this channel, or get to them via the archive site.